This is a subject that's been on my mind for years, and it just occurred to me that there's enough accumulated observation and experience to say this definitively. In terms of spiritual processing, spiritual growth and progress, the ability to have and digest the energies of your feelings, smoking is a problem. I've had several clients who were smokers, and they wanted to smoke during the sessions. They wanted the sessions to end so that they could have a smoke. It's more than a distraction. It's a barrier. What I've noticed is that with each of these clients, I saw the same characteristics. Rather than actually sit and simply have the energies and feelings that they needed to process and digest, they were enacting them. They were speaking, talking on and on, describing the feelings. What they couldn't and wouldn't do was allow these energies to digest within them. Each of these clients experienced some light relief in terms of whatever the immediate situation was, or situations were, that triggered their feelings. But as far as actually processing these feelings to result in change, to actually change their circumstances and change their conditions, never happened. Never happened with any of them. All sessions I've done with smokers, I mean, none of them you could say went badly. None of them you could say got no results. But the results were relatively superficial. So if you want to make real gains, you can't be a smoker. You've got to stop. Now, we could talk about all the health reasons, how smoking ages your skin, ages you. Yeah, my father died because he smoked cigarettes. He died of typical smokers' small cell lung cancer. Doesn't mean that will happen to you. But there are many reasons not to smoke. Those of us who don't smoke, we really don't want to be around somebody who's smoking. But more relevant to the point, in terms of therapeutic spiritual counseling, in terms of if you want to no longer have the anxieties, the compulsions, the attitudes, and the repeating circumstances, and the still feeling the pain and fear and sorrow of past events, to recover and become whole and be able to experience presence and the joy of every moment, free of what's been reoccurring, replicating, consistently been life patterns and unchanging feelings, you're going to have to stop smoking. Now, I'm not saying I will refuse a client who smokes, but I won't have them smoking during the session. And I certainly can't promise the same depth of progress, the same depth of results and change. Smoking prevents depth of change. It prevents depth of being present enough with your feelings to experience them. It maintains a certain anxiety that has a person just simply enacting the anxieties that the smoking is supposed to somehow help with. When somebody says, I'm going to quit smoking as soon as my stress level goes down, smoking is a form of trying to resist feelings, and resisting feelings maintains the feelings. But smoking also has that drug, that biochemical aspect to it, which makes it even more difficult. So, regardless of what you might think about why you need to do it, or your projections or attitudes about why you won't do it, or why you can't, or why it's difficult, you simply need to stop smoking. Honestly, you're cheating yourself. And I'd be remiss if I didn't let everyone know that if you wonder why you still have the same conditions through everything you've done, and you've been a smoker throughout all of that, well, that's partially why. I can't speak to whatever things you've tried to do, but I can tell you that you are making it far more difficult by being a smoker. Smoking is a barrier to spiritual presence, awareness, ability to have the energies and feelings that are within you and thus process them. And this is why you can do a million things, you can have session after session, but there's no depth of change, there's no great spiritual liberation. So do yourself a favor, if you're a smoker, whatever it takes, and don't make it more difficult by projecting it to be difficult. Do what you've got to do. Stop smoking, and let's accomplish what you really want to accomplish. It's doable. It's very doable. The biggest reason you haven't succeeded is the smoking.